What's up everyone, my name is William and today we're going to be going over the ESE synthesizer that's included in Logic. So first of all, I've just opened up a new session here. I went over to my my track and I clicked on ESE Ensemble Synth. And then this dialog box opened up and this is what we have. This is our synthesizer here. It's a fairly simple synthesizer. There's not a whole lot going on with this synth. So what we're going to do is we're going to just load up the default preset by clicking recall default. And let's just listen to what this sounds like. Okay, so that's what our factory default preset sounds like. Going through these parameters, we're going to go left to right. There's not a whole lot to it. Starting off with the far left-hand side, we have 4, 8, and 16. These buttons, of course, adjust our pitch. The higher values, meaning that they are lower in pitch, so 16 is the lowest. I'll press the same note. That is middle C again, and one last time. So that's how the numbers on the side adjust our pitch. They change the octaves. Next we have this wave shape knob. Right now we're on a saw wave. I'm going to leave it on the saw wave right now, but this is how we would change the shape of our wave. Underneath that, we have our LFO section. We have a speed and intensity knob. This speed adjusts how fast our LFO is, and this knob right here just determines our intensity of our LFO. So if we're dragging it more to the right, it'll be more intense. I'm going to hold the middle C note again and just drag this to the right so we can hear what this does. So you can see this top knob adjusted how intense the LFO was, and then this bottom knob adjusted the speed of our LFO. Moving on, we then have our filter section of this synth. We have a simple cutoff and resonance. So I'm going to hold my middle C note again. It's just a simple low-pass filter, and we can adjust the cutoff here, and then we can also adjust our resonance. It's pretty basic stuff. Next, we're moving on to our AR intensity. This determines how intense the filter is in relation to our envelope over here, which we haven't gotten to yet. Pretty much left is less intense, right is more intense. So you can hear what that's doing to our cutoff. Moving on, we next have the velocity filter knob. This determines how intense our filter is based on our notes, how hard we're pressing our notes. If this is all the way up like this, a softer note will have a lower cough than a harder note. And this won't do anything if this is set to 0. So what we're going to do is turn this all the way up, and we're going to press a note softly, and now the same note hard. And you can hear the difference there. There is quite a difference in the cutoff. As we're pressing it harder, the filter is much more open. Moving on to our envelope, we have just a basic attack and release. Attack determines how long it takes our our sound to get to sustain level, and release determines how long the sound will go after we release the note. This is just a basic slider. The bottom is less, the top is more. So, you know, if we wanted a faster attack, we would slide this down. We can do a pluck if we raised it up. It's a much slower attack. And that's the same for the release. So that's what the attack and release sliders do. Pretty straightforward stuff. We should hopefully be familiar with that at this point. Next, we have our output controls. We have our basic volume control here. You know, if it's too loud, we can adjust our volume here. And then we also have this velocity volume, which it's similar to this velocity filter, but instead of the velocity of our notes affecting the cutoff of our filter, our velocity is controlling our output volume. So if I turn this up, it means it's more in effect. So I'm going to turn it up all the way just so we can hear the difference. And I'm actually going to turn off velocity filter and set that to 0 over here. So if I play a note softly, it's really quiet. If I press a note hard, it's much louder. Let me turn the cutoff up a little bit. So we can hear what's happening there. Just, you know, with the different velocities, it's affecting the volume differently. The very last thing that I wanted to cover in this synthesizer is these output effects. We have chorus 1, chorus 2, and ensemble. So without any effects, we just unclick one of the buttons, whichever one is clicked, and we have no effects. So that's our fourth option technically. Our sound sounds like this without any effects on it. With the chorus 1 effect, it's just a chorus effect. Chorus 2 is similar to chorus 1. There's just more modulation that can be heard. An ensemble is just a richer, bigger sounding effect. So that's what those three sound like. But that's about it with this ESE synthesizer. It's a very simple synthesizer, but very powerful, and it's fun to use, definitely. As with all of these synths, go through some of the presets, you know, adjust the settings, play with it. You know, the more you use the synthesizer and the more you use all of these synthesizers, you know, the more comfortable you'll be with synthesizers to come, and just synthesizers you don't recognize, you know, you'll get more comfortable with those. Again, my name is William. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thank you for watching.